guys, I hope you guys are all doing well with your projects after yesterday's knitting class. I am just gonna make a quick video for you guys that covers the basics of our pattern. So I'm gonna do a cast on and then I will go a couple of rows of our seed stitch pattern. Sorry, this just got all tangled. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna do a cast on for you guys and then I will do the seed stitch pattern for a couple of rows. So again, we're going to start with our slip knot. I'm going to go as slowly as I can. I know I tend to work faster, so I'm going to slow it down for you guys. Okay, so once we have our slip knot on, again, you can see I have mine pretty loose. I know it's scary because it feels like it's more likely to fall off, but as we learned yesterday, that cast on, if it's too tight, it's going to be really hard to pick up your first row of stitches. So I have mine on pretty loose, and now I'm going to cast on my stitches. I'm going to do an odd number, but I'm not going to do the full 17. I'll probably just do 9, okay? So remember, for your pattern, it's 17 stitches cast on, and then knit 1, purl 1. The biggest thing is as long as it's an odd number. If you have an even number, doing that pattern repeat of knit 1, purl 1 will give you ribbing stitch, which is a beautiful stitch. It's used for things like necklines, hems, the brims of toques or beanies, you know, wrist hems for sweaters, that kind of thing. But for this, we're aiming for the seed stitch. Now that said, if you end up with a ribbing stitch and you want to turn that into your cowl, go for it. It's your project. Do what you want to do. Either way, you're still practicing that full knit 1, purl 1 technique. So, okay, so we're going to start here. So this is our stitch. This is the front of the stitch. So the front is closest to the point of our needle. This is the back of our stitch. So for a knit stitch, which is what we do for our cast on, we're going to go in through the back and across so that it looks something like that. Okay, and we're going to take our working yarn, wrap it around, pull it through, bring it up, and then come underneath it and slide it on. Okay, so I'm going to do that for 9 stitches here. Okay, so I'm just going to count my stitches, make sure I have an odd number. I did 9, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Okay, so now we're ready to start our first row. So again, our row repeat is knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1. So we're going to always start with a knit 1 every single row, okay? So for the knit 1, again, we're going to come in from the back side of our stitch. We're going to go in, across, so stab him, strangle him, scoop out his guts, and then instead of doing this to add that extra cast on stitch, we're going to get rid of that. Okay, so now we have 1 knit stitch on our right needle. Now we're going to bring our yarn in between the 2 needles to do our purl stitch, and for our purl stitch we're going to go in through the front of that stitch, wrap it around, and do the same thing and get that off of there. Okay, and then back behind and in through the back, wrap it, pull it through, and take that one off. And back in between, Wrap it around. Back behind. So the style of knitting I've taught you guys is called English style. It's probably the easier. So there's two styles of knitting. There's continental and there's English. In continental, you're holding your yarn in your left hand and you're working without ever, like, you basically just move your fingers back and forth, and it's actually a lot trickier. So especially for beginner knitters, I like to teach English style. Continental is something you can learn as you get more comfortable. It's something you can do. I've learned both ways. I still prefer English style. Technically, continental can be faster, but right now our focus is not on speed. Our focus is on accuracy and learning those stitches. So the English style, you hold your yarn in your right hand and you're working it, you know, more of a, instead of a flicking back and forth, you're physically moving your yarn. But as you guys can see, when I'm knitting a little bit quicker, I always have my yarn wrapped a certain way. That's just how I find it easier to keep my tension. And you guys will find your own methods of doing that. You'll find your own ways of having your, holding your yarn that's comfortable for you. And as you get more comfortable, if you choose to learn the continental style, you might find that's more comfortable in the long run. But right now, while we're just focusing on learning those stitches, English style is a much easier way to see what you're doing clearly so that you are aware of what each stitch is going to look like. Okay, so now I finished that first row, I flipped my yarn, I flipped my work, sorry, and now we're going to do it again. Knit one, and bring our yarn over, purl one, and bring our yarn back, knit one, and bring our yarn over, purl one, and bring our yarn back. And we're just going to keep doing that till we get to the end. And then I'm going to do one row at my speed just to show you guys what that looks like, especially if you end up YouTubing any tutorial videos as you progress in your knitting journey. A lot of the videos, they tend to work at their knitting pace, and so it's helpful, I think, just to sort of see what that might look like down the road for you guys. And knit one. So we have the startings of our seed stitch. We're creating that beautiful knit one, purl one pattern. It's looking good so far, and I'm just going to do one more row with my normal pace for you guys to watch. But you can rewind this video, you can watch it as many times as you need to, and hopefully it helps you guys along the way in the next 2 weeks. But like I said, if you at any point in time, if you are stuck, or if you're finding that you're, you know, something got screwed up somewhere and you're not sure how to fix it, don't hesitate to come into the shop during our business hours. Send me a message, send me a picture. I can usually troubleshoot over a picture, or even a quick video. There's lots of ways I can help you guys out, and I don't want you to hesitate to do that. Like I said yesterday, there are lots of YouTube tutorials out there, but sometimes they can be confusing because they might show them in the continental stitch or a really fast English style stitch, and I don't want you guys to get confused and then discouraged. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I'm happy to help you guys. And I look forward to seeing you for our final class, not this coming Sunday, but the one after. I'll see you guys then. Happy knitting!